Good evening. Welcome
Sunday
to
night.
Sunday night, yeah. Satsang with John and Michelle. Welcome to all who join us on a regular basis, and welcome to any newcomers who come along tonight.
Yes, absolutely.
The idea is just to set up a central focus for centering ourselves, for prayer, for meditation, and for community. And we are building up quite a nice community here.
Yeah, and for setting a sort of a theme for the week, trajectory for the week. Yeah.
Putting out the right vibration for the week ahead.
Yeah, that's the idea.
It's important to do that.
Mm.
And if you can hear us okay, just send us a comment. And if you like what we have to say, then send us a heart. We love getting the hearts. Thank you for those.
Thumbs up.
We always like to know who we're speaking to and where you're from. So if you'd like to let us know where you're from, that's also good. And to help share the light with the world around you, if you can press the share button, the like and the share button, that really does help radiate this message out into the world. So welcome.
Please do say hi, because we have no way of knowing who's joining us otherwise.
Yeah,
we don't kind of get a list of you, so it's lovely to know who's
there.
Just say hi.
Yeah. Well, I trust you've had a good Sunday, and we are now going to do the most important part of work of the whole weekend, which is centering ourselves in the present moment. And the only place you can find what you're really looking for, which generally is love and peace and joy, is the now, is the ever-present now. And yet we spend very little time there. Even on the weekend, we might have been busy doing this and busy doing that, and maybe catching up on social media and things like that. So let's just empty our mind of all other times and all other places and just become centered in the here and now. And we do that by sitting back on our chairs, making quite sure our cushions are good, our body is comfortable, and we gently shut our eyes. And as we shut our eyes, so we bring our awareness into the body, and we become aware of the human form that we're occupying today. This human form is so transitory, and yet we take it for granted. Each breath that we take in and we take out is a process of transformation. Every time we breathe in, we're breathing in new molecules, and every time we breathe out, we're letting go of some of the substance that we would call ourselves. So let's be mindful for a moment of this unique, beautiful, miraculous human form that we have, that enables us to have the human experience. And closing our eyes and relaxing our bodies, we become centered in the here and now, withdrawing our mind from all of the times and all of the places. And let's just drop our awareness from the head, which is normally so busy, down, right the way down our body, into our feet. And let's just become aware of where our feet are pressing. Become aware of maybe the floor under your feet. Just become aware of maybe even Mother Earth beneath the ground, beneath the floor. Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, she is the source of all of our material needs. She provides all the essential minerals for our bodies, food. She provides the material for our clothing, material for our homes, our vehicles, the beautiful mountains and the seas and the plains, the air that we breathe, the water we drink. So let's say thank you to Mother Earth for her abundance. They say that the same way that an apple tree apples, the earth, humans, we're a product of this beautiful, beautiful blue planet called Earth. So having given thanks to Mother Earth, we bring our awareness back up from our feet into our ankles, saying thank you to our ankles for supporting the weight of our body. Bring our awareness up our calf muscles, up our shins into the knees. Being aware of any discomfort in the knees, becoming aware of any aches and pains, in the lower legs and just releasing it for the moment. Just allowing whatever is to be. We bring up our awareness to the thighs, relaxing our thighs and into our hips, relaxing the genitals, relaxing the abdomen, relaxing the lower spine, all the organs in the body. And we bring our awareness now up to between our shoulder blades, and we relax our shoulder blades. Bring our awareness now into the shoulders, and we might like to shrug off any tension which we hold there. You might find that sitting up straight, putting your shoulders back is a very good posture for allowing the energy of life to flow more freely through you. Bring your awareness now down the shoulders, down your upper arms into the elbows, relaxing the elbows, the forearms, your wrists and your hands. Bring your awareness now into the fingers. The incredible gift of dexterity that we get from the fingers. Being able to lift a mug to our lips, being able to write, being able to hold and hug, being able to dress ourselves, garden, cook food. We thank these hands for all the incredible work that they do, that they've done today. And now we bring our awareness to rest gently in the palms of our hands, just becoming aware of the central point in the palms of each of our hands. This is a special node of energy, of healing. See if you can feel a slight tingle in the center of your palms, maybe a resonance, a radiation of warmth, becoming aware of this ball of energy called chi that radiates out from our hands. And we know, if a child hurts themselves, we just put our hands on that place and the pain dissipates. If we hurt ourselves, we just place our hands on that area and we can feel a relief. There is amazing healing energy in the hands. It's a portal for life force to flow through us. So let's just become quiet and still enough and put our hands, maybe palms facing each other about 6 inches apart. And let's just feel if we can feel this energy pulsing between the hands. You might feel it as almost like a soft rubber ball between your hands, and if you move your hands slightly in and out, you can maybe feel the resistance of that energy ball. Now let us, relaxing our hands, just using our conscious awareness to invite this ball of energy into our solar plexus, the place of the sun, our seat of physical energy. And from the solar plexus, we ask that life may guide this energy to any part of the body which needs healing right now. Any part of the body that needs revitalizing. We particularly bring this energy up into the heart. And we feel our heart expanding. A beautiful, beautiful energy of connection, of community, of caring, compassion and love. Feel this energy radiating out from you to all on the call tonight. Feel it radiating out to all those that you would love, that you would care for. Let's feel this ball of energy radiating out with our intention to encompass all life forms on planet Earth, clearing away the darkness and inviting love into the awareness of each and every human being, connecting also with the animals, the plants, the trees, the rocks, the crystals, the fish, the birds, the oceans. Let's feel this connection of oneness. For in truth, life is one, separated into animating different vehicles for life, but life itself is one, and we are part of that dance called life with Mother Gaia. And we give thanks for this connection, for this empathy, this compassion, and this community. We radiate this feeling of peace to encompass the whole world. And we bring our awareness into the heart now, back into the heart. And we bring this energy, this beautiful chi energy, up our shoulders, into the neck, relaxing the neck, and up into the top of the head. And through the crown of the head we feel an opening and a portal, going up into the higher dimensions, the higher frequencies, connecting with Father Sky. And this energy pours down our foreheads into our cheeks and into our jaw, relaxing our jaw. And we bring our awareness gently to rest on the tip of our nose, becoming aware of the gentle flow of breath in and out of the body. And now we take a very deep breath in, through the nose, right down to our solar plexus and lower into the lower abdomen. And a beautiful, long, relaxing breath out. Just let it go, dropping your shoulders a little bit more. Take a second, very deep breath in, but this time take it right down to your toes and imagine the breath even going into the earth beneath your feet. Let it all go, let it all go. Take a third, a deep breath in, right down to those feet and to the top of your head, filling your whole body up like a big ball, and sigh it all out. Just let it go, just sigh it all out, sinking deeper into your body and back into the present moment. And when you're ready, you may gently, very, very gently, with presence and with awareness, open your eyes and just see how you feel in this moment. How does your body feel in this moment? Maybe you feel a bit lighter, a bit calmer, a bit more centered, a bit more connected, a bit more loving.
That's lovely. Thank you, John.
Thank you. Welcome to everyone. Good evening.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for telling us who you are and where you're from.
Yeah.
A few of you joined us during that.
Hello, Christine from the UK.
And hello, Corinna.
From
Can see you guys
Johannesburg.
on our screen, and I think you said hi.
Yeah.
So, we're going to talk about light. Warriors
Anything
of light.
from the stars to tell
Not a
us?
lot, no.
Nothing.
We're in the middle
between...
of two moons.
So we're still in the planting phase.
We're
So
in
any
the planting
gardeners out
phase.
there, get your hands in the soil and plant some stuff.
Waxing.
I meant to go and get some plants from the nursery, but we were hibernating at home today because it was a lovely, misty, rainy day today.
We've got Dominique and Ellen with us.
Hello.
Dominique doing his first satsang from San Diego. Hello, Dominique.
Hello, Dom.
Good to have you with us.
And
hi,
hello, Ellen from Michalisburg. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah. So we're in the cycle of newness, aren't we, at the moment?
Yeah, we're in the planting phase. So new moon to full moon is planting phase. So planting intentions, setting those intentions, watering them, getting them ready. Yeah. So it's always the growth phase.
Yeah. So it's not only getting your hands in the soil of the garden and planting new plants, it's also a case of planting new intentions in your awareness. And I believe this time that we're going through now, in the southern hemisphere, it's a time of spring. And it's a very important time, I think, cosmically at the moment, to actually plant new intentions into the morphic field of resonance in which we occupy. And to be mindful of that, and that goes into very much the theme of what we're talking about tonight, to become warriors of light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's so much, so many people at this point, no matter where you are with what's going on our planet, so many people are saying, what can I do? How can I help? How can I contribute? What role can I play? You know, and I believe that those people, those of you on this group, are kind of on a similar page in terms of what role you can play. And that's the role of light.
Yeah.
It's, you know, the role of being a light holder or a frequency holder is very, very important on our planet. You don't have to be speaking out publicly, but holding a frequency is probably the most important thing we can do. And so we just kind of were playing with words, and the warrior sort of theme came up. And warriors are normally known as people who go and slay people.
They're the fierce ones.
They're the fierce ones. But we do need some fierceness, but in a good way.
Yeah,
Fierceness
that's right.
in the sense that there's a sense of conviction. There's a sense of standing in your own power.
Sense of courage.
There's a courage. There's a sense of knowing who you are, so that you can actually be the change you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
For me, those are all things that relate to being a warrior. And you've got to be kind of fit to be a warrior.
Fit and strong and centered.
Yeah.
And secure. And so this subject really comes about, as many people are saying, but, you know, we can see that there are many things wrong with the world, which is, you know, wonderful in that the veil is coming down, the veil of secrecy. You know, the word apocalypse means for that which is hidden to be revealed. And so more and more stuff is being revealed going into our history, and why mankind finds themselves in the state that they're in at the moment, why there's so much disease and poverty on the planet. And we start to find things underneath the surface that have been driving systems of sort of unconsciousness in mankind. And so people often say, but what can we do about it? You know, must we get on the streets and march for our rights and march for our sovereignty? And you maybe you feel drawn to do that. But what we'd like to talk about tonight is not so much getting out there into the physical world and resisting the powers that be physically and trying to force change to come about socially. We feel that to be a warrior of light is working at the energetic field. And this is the real work. This is the real power that we have. You know, in the past, we've been so convinced that the only powers that exist are the power of manipulating the physical universe, manipulating objects so that they line up in a way that we feel comfortable with them. And that is just not how the real power works on this planet. We know from the works of Niels Bohr, Einstein, and Max Planck that we live in a field of energy. And if you want to change something in the physical world, in the physical universe, you first of all change the field. That's the most important part. And we have two main sources of influencing the field within our human form. And one is the mind, and the other is the body. And the mind obviously works with thoughts, and thoughts are very powerful. And it's to be very mindful of the thoughts that we think. Are they thoughts that are constructive, or are they thoughts of destruction? But the main field that we have to work with is the field of the heart. And involved in that is the field of emotion, which is a different field really to the centeredness in the heart, but it's also a very, very powerful field. And Michelle will be taking us through a beautiful heart meditation to round off tonight's satsang, and it's such a powerful opening. And people have commented that meditation that Michelle does is really life-changing. It's really very, very powerful.
Yeah, and it's based on a book, Living in the Heart, which I've referred to before, by a man called Dranvalo Melchizedek. He was also responsible for doing the Flower of Life books. Incredibly knowledgeable man. And he's dealt with a lot of the ancient tribes, the Aborigines, the Hopi Indians, the Cochis, and the proof that these people of ancient lineages have, because they are very much frequency holders, and they're very much living outside of the material world. So in other words, I mean, to go to John's model, they're living very much in the vertical plane, and they can kind of see through layers and layers of different dimensions, simply because that's their focus. That's what they do. That's what their purpose is. That's what their main thing is. So anything you focus on is going to grow and get stronger. So if you're an athlete, you focus on building up those muscles. And if you're a frequency holder or a light worker or a light warrior, you focus on holding the light. And so what they discovered in meeting with him, and he's had amazing experience, it's a wonderful book. What they discovered was that if people joined in circles of light, so whether those are real physical circles or whether it's what we're doing here,
intentional circles,
it has an incredible effect. So much so that there are stories in the book of where they say that the world was supposed to, there was supposed to be a split in dimensional consciousness back in the 90s. And that's what they predicted. And when they looked from a higher dimension, they realized that the reason that hadn't happened was because there were these light groups of people meditating together, being together, loving together, dancing together, raising their vibration, literally from the heart. And as they did that, that just magnified and rippled out into that field that John was talking about and shifted the consciousness of humanity and actually stopped something really severe from happening because it was the consciousness was raised. So the way I see it is that that's what we're going through now. We're going through an ascension, a raising of human consciousness. So if you're on this call, you're part of that. So the book is called Living in the Heart. If I hold it up, it'll probably be wrong way around. But it's Living in the Heart, and it's Drunvalo, D-R-U-N for November, V for Victory, A-L-O. If you just Google that, Drunvalo Melchizedek. Yeah. And there's also, the book I got actually had a CD in it. I don't know if they still have it.
Probably don't.
Yeah, probably not, because people haven't got CD players.
You can probably get this as a download
but
now.
As part of this, he was also given a meditation by guides. He was actually given by Yogananda's father. And basically the meditation was, it's a little bit of what I'm going to do tonight, which is living in the heart. It's a heart-based meditation. So if we don't know what we can do, that's what we can do.
Yeah.
We can be warriors of the light simply by holding that frequency. So if you are in a state of love, as we found on our beautiful retreat that we had a couple of weeks ago, I don't think I've ever seen, we've had amazing retreats and situations before, but it was such an amazing group that after like the first or second day, people fell in love with each other. We all fell into love. And it was palpable. You could actually feel the energy of that.
Yeah.
And if you could bottle that, which you can, in a sense, and send it out there, it's magnificent. Yeah. It changes everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So to be a warrior of light, what does it really mean? What does it mean? It means to be very mindful of the thoughts that we think, because they have a real energy that radiates out and changes the physical world. It's to be mindful of the feelings that you feel, because that radiates out into the world. It's to be mindful of the intentions that you hold, of the desires that we hold. It's to become aware and to be what I call present with your moment-to-moment actions. In other words, your actions come not from the past programming and not from future anticipation, but from the guidance of life in the present moment. And mindfully and intentionally, we project love, light, and peace. And the big one is joy into the planet. So those of you who can remember Superman, there was a particular chemical sort of crystal called kryptonite. And I believe that kryptonite, the kryptonite that we have access to is the kryptonite called joy. And joy is the absolute annihilation of darkness, because when you are feeling joyful, your heart opens, your energy field expands, and it's so contagious to those around you. And these times from the external world are very much invested in fear and anxiety and worry and things like that, and concern. And the antidote to that, I don't believe, is so much as in protest, but it's actually in joy. The more we can bring joy into our lives, the more we are part of the solution rather than part of the problem. And I mean, in your moment-to-moment life, it's not always possible to feel joy. But if you say, well, 2 or 3 times a day, I'm going to consciously generate joy within my body. And how can we do that? Well, one of the ways is put on some music that lifts you up. Put on some music that you can dance to, because when you're dancing, it's quite easy to access joy. Yeah. And another way is go and do, a random act of kindness for someone, because we know that the moment you give something to someone, or do a random act of kindness, you initiate a serotonin response in them, but you also initiate serotonin in yourself. And the joy that you feel in your heart ripples out to those around you. So to be a warrior of light is to be mindful of your thoughts and mindful of your emotions and your feelings, and generate and feed, as Michelle said earlier, you got to actually, whatever you give your attention to expands. So if you focus on what is wrong with the world, well, maybe that will expand. But if you focus on what is right with your life, what is right with the day, what is right with the world around you, what's right with the people around you, that expands it as well. And then it's to consciously invite joy into your life. And you can do it by looking at a beautiful flower.
You certainly can. And connecting with nature. So for me, one of the quickest ways of upping that vibration and bringing joy and love and peace and harmony into our lives and balance is nature, because nature will always show us. So grounding ourselves, we've said it before, but grounding yourself in nature, absolutely, especially when the world's gone nuts. So to actually get out into nature, put your feet in the earth, that's really important. Just go and pick a flower, put it in a vase. Just do something where you actually have a connection to this amazing planet, because we are part of it. We're not separate from planet Earth.
Yeah.
So that's really important. And also gratitude. We speak quite a lot about gratitude, but joy, sometimes not that easy to access, but you can always access gratitude. And if you find that you're down in the dumps and you don't feel that you have any light to share, just practice gratitude. You will very quickly find the light by just being conscious and aware of what you've got and grateful for it. What you do have in this moment, the breath that you have, the arms that you have, the eyes that you have, everything basically, that you just spin around and look around you.
Take for granted.
We take for granted. We take for granted. Yeah.
Correct. And doing the gratitude exercise at night before you go to sleep, writing down 10 points of gratitude, that is just so powerful at being a light warrior. And waking up first thing in the morning and writing down another 10 things that you're grateful for first thing in the morning, that is being a light warrior. And being kind and compassion with yourself, there's another way. Because when we criticize ourselves, and a lot of people are very unkind towards themselves. When you are unkind to yourself and very self-critical and lacking in love towards yourself, that closes your ability to be a channel for the light. It doesn't open you. So it's to be aware of how you speak to yourself, how you think about yourself, how you judge yourself. You are a unique, beautiful creation of the divine. And when you start to recognize that and start to know that, then you are less judgmental towards yourself, more accepting, more allowing of yourself, and you start to appreciate yourself more. And that opens you up to be this beautiful light warrior that we are in the world.
And to face that, it's to really get to know ourselves as well, to approve, to appreciate, to allow. Those things are all associated with love, but it's basically to give up judging, because judging separates and it weakens. It does not strengthen us. So when we actually can become okay with ourselves, when we can see that we're okay, we can then extend that out. If we feel awful about ourselves, there's no way that we can actually be any kind of warriors of light, because it starts within us. And whatever we're putting out there goes through our lens. So I was listening to something the other day, and he said, if you've got red glasses on, you're going to see a red world. And if you've got blue glasses on, you're going to see a blue world. If you've got dirty glasses on, you're going to see a dirty world. If your lens that you're looking at the world is grubby, and if the lens through which you look at yourself is unforgiving and cruel and judgmental, that's what we're going to give out. And that's what's happening on our planet, unfortunately, is there's division and judgment and so much of that at the moment. I don't think it's ever been so clear as to the divisions that we have. So what can we do? We can stand in our own sovereignty, in our own center, in our own power. And in that way, we are changing the field just by that, not by talking to another human being. You can sit in your house and just focus on light, focus on love, focus on your heart, focus on gratitude.
So the greatest power we have is not so much in our human doingness, but in our human beingness. It's our beingness that is connected to the divine. It's our beingness that is connected to the spirit of life. And the more we can connect to our beingness, the more we become a channel, a conduit, a frequency holder for this higher energy, which is surrounding the earth at this time, for it to come into this particular plane of experience. And as Michelle said, it's to be aware of those filters that we have within us. If we're angry towards ourselves or unforgiving towards ourselves, we're going to be angry and unforgiving towards the world around us, and that lowers our vibration and it closes us down. And it's to open at the moment. So for example, just try this exercise for a moment. Take your hands, put them into a fist and put them across your body like that, and round your shoulders, sink your body down and see how you feel. Now just take your hands and open them, put back your shoulders, sit up straight, put your hands out, and automatically you feel that you are more open, you're more allowing. And in that moment, the light starts pouring through us. We're almost like a hose pipe. And all we have to do is open. One of the analogies I often use is to imagine that there is an ocean of love above us. There's an ocean of love above your head right now. And you are the tap. And you don't have to earn the love. All you have to do is open the tap and allow that love that's there to come through you. A tap doesn't create water. A tap opens and water flows. We don't have to create love. All we have to do is open and allow the love it's really just so, it's joy to flow through the human form into this world. And all we have to do is open. So open our hands, open our minds, open our hearts, and allow this to flow through us. So our work as spiritual light workers at this moment is to clear away all the blockages that we have constructed within us to love, to light. And it's very simple. Just untie the knot of resistance to life to become more accepting. And as Michelle said, one of the things that opens us straight away is this gratitude. Gratitude just opens us up.
Yeah, and I think also, if, just going with what John was saying there about opening, fear and anxiety, what does it do? It actually makes us do this. So if you kind of curled over and bent over, you aren't actually an open channel. You can't be, because it's not going in. It's not running through you. So imagine that you were a warrior and you were about to actually engage in a warrior scene, you would hold yourself in a strong, powerful position. So it means that we've got to look after our bodies, we've got to look after our thoughts, we've got to look after our emotional side. We've got to get enough rest, we've got to get enough food, enough exercise to actually keep that channel open and to allow that light to move through. And I think part of it as well is being very, very aware of feeling what we feel. So not blocking that, seeing it. The other thing I think as a warrior is to face what you need to face.
Mm-hmm.
Face your fear.
Mm-hmm.
A warrior is not going to stand behind a corner and say, no, I can't look at this because it's too scary. He's going to stand there and say, okay, here it comes. Right, let's get ready for this. Let's face it. Yeah. And so many people are not prepared to face the fear. They're not prepared to look at their fear. So they buy into the fear and they make choices from the fear, as opposed to seeing what they're really fearful about, facing the fear and moving through the fear. That's a warrior.
It is.
That's a warrior. A warrior doesn't back off and go and hide when they're scared. And it doesn't mean that you don't get scared. It means that you see it, you feel it, you see it, and you face it. And there's so many people I speak to, if you mention the word death, they say, oh God, that's terrifying. I can't speak about that. That's a block. It's going to block because it's sitting there as a fear, and that's going to block light. So it's to face it. Yeah, that's a fear. And love will dissolve that fear. But not looking at it isn't going to dissolve it. It's going to make an energetic knot, which is going to get caught in your energy system.
Yeah. The underlying fear that many people carry around with them is the fear of annihilation.
Yeah.
The fear of death of them, and the fear of themselves, and the fear of the loss of their story around them. And the story may well be a career, it may well be family, it may well be loved ones. And that fear of death stops you from truly appreciating this moment and the joy of life as it is. And one of the ways of facing the fear of death and seeing through it for the illusion that it is to know who you are. When you know who you are, there is no fear of death. There's no fear of someone dying, because you know that death is an illusion. It's rather the same way as standing on the seashore and looking at a wave forming. And the wave is forming out there in the ocean, and you give it you write a birth certificate for that wave, and it gets bigger and stronger, and, lots of things happen to it, and eventually it crashes on the beach. And then we write out a death certificate and we walk up and down the beach wearing black, mourning the loss of that wave. Now that we can see as blatantly absurd, because it was never an individual. It was the ocean waving water molecules into a particular form for a brief moment in time and then receding back into the ocean. And that's exactly the way it is for all of us humans. We are collections of molecules and of energy that life is waving into existence for a brief moment, and then we go back into our true essence, our true being, which is the ocean. We are the ocean, playing at form for a while and then receding back in there. And so it is for everyone that you lost and everyone that you love. And what we do is we get so fixated with the form, and we forget to see the formless underneath the form, because it is never truly the form that we love. It's that which animates the form that we love. And that which animates the form is timeless. It's eternal. It can never go, because it is life in itself. And yes, when we lose someone, it is distressing, because we get attached to them in that way. But if we can practice seeing through the form moment to moment and start honoring that joy of life, which is your true essence and which is the true essence of everyone, then we can slowly let go of that resistance to the transformation of life. I think it was Wayne Dyer that said that the human life is the human form is a sexually transmitted terminal disease. So all of us are dying from the moment we're born from a physical point of view. And to fear that is just so restricting on the joy of life. And if we look at what's going down on the planet at the moment, and the control and the manipulation of mankind, and it's all being done through the fear of death. And I mean, if you would like freedom, if you would like true freedom, give up the fear of death. It's an illusion. When we die, it's like walking from one room to another. When I was a youngster, apparently about 5 years old, I had a near-death experience. And when you realize that you're not your physical body, and no one is their physical body, it's something you occupy for a brief moment in time, and you really walk from one room into another room. then there is a freedom. And yes, we do miss those who pass over. And grieving is a natural process. And we need community and support while we are grieving. But to know this, which comes from A Course in Miracles, nothing real can be threatened, and nothing unreal exists. And therein lies the peace of God. What is real inside another that you love is eternally present. I remember when my mother was killed in a car accident many years ago, after she passed, I felt her presence closer to me than when she was in the body. When she was in the body, she was 1,000 kilometers away. We're in Cape Town, she was in East London. But after she passed, I felt her presence actually with me. The problem is, if we're not present, then we disconnect from them, because their energy is presence. And when we grieve, quite often we go into stories, we go into history, we go into photo albums, we go into memories. And because we are lacking in presence, we separate from their presence, which is around us in the moment. And part of being a spiritual warrior is to arm yourself with the power and the energy of presence. It heals everything. Presence has just a phenomenal energy. And it also is a portal for the power of grace. And the more present we become, the more allowing, the more grateful that we can be for just this moment here. We open a channel for grace to come in and help us heal. Healing is a process. Grief is a process. And that process is greatly facilitated by the act of presence. And we know from Elizabeth Kubler-Ross in her 5 stages of healing grief, for example, that the final phase, which isn't the final, it's a process, and that is acceptance. And what is acceptance but coming back to alignment with life and the joy that life has to offer us here in this moment. So just to be aware that fearing death limits you from living life fully. It limits your ability to channel light into this realm. Letting go of fear is letting go of the fear of dying, of annihilation. You cannot die. It's an impossibility. You are life. You can only lose that which you have. You can't lose that which you are. And you are life. And part of this process of awakening is the realization of who and what you are.
Yeah, you can't lose what you're not.
Yeah. And we have been so educated out of the awareness of who and what we are. We've been so programmed to believe we are what we have, we are what we do, and we are what other people think of us. And that is just not true.
Yeah, really true freedom comes when we realize that we're not dependent on anything in the external to give us the peace, the love, the joy that we are. And that nothing in the external can actually give that to us.
No.
And that is the awakening for me. That is the coming home to that realization. That as long as we're looking at it in the outside world, we're looking at somebody else or some situation to make us feel okay, to make us feel loved, to make us feel accepted, to make us feel validated, we are always going to be suffering. So true spiritual warriorship, or true sovereignty, if you want to call it that, is to stand in your own power, knowing that you have everything inside you that you need at any one time. In this moment, even if you've lost somebody, even if you're going through a really, really bad time, and we know a lot of people that are going through a really, really rough time, whether it's having lost somebody, whether it's financial difficulties, whether it's health difficulties, whatever it is, that you have that inside you to navigate it, and that it's not outside of you. That is the realization for me. That's the big whammy, the big realization, is that there's nothing outside that can complete you, that can give you that.
Yeah, that is.
And what we normally do is we normally give it to somebody else. So we're actually giving them our gold. We're giving them our power. Mm-hmm. We're saying, because of you, I'm happy. And because you're not here, I'm unhappy. Mm. Or because of the job, I feel secure. And now I don't have the job, so I don't feel secure. So as soon as we align ourselves with that and validate ourselves through that, we can do that, but we just have to know that's not where we're actually standing in our full power.
The Buddha said that attachment is the root of all suffering. And we have things that we do get attached to, but it's to be aware that the moment we become attached to something, in that moment there's a seed of suffering. And so I believe it's to really enjoy this physical world, enjoy everything that we have, enjoy all the relationships, all the things that we have, to fully enjoy them, but to know what is real. And a warrior of light knows what's real, and what is real is the light. That's what's real.
That's what's real.
Life is real, joy is real, love is real, and everything in the vertical plane in my map is real. That which is on the horizontal plane is transitory. And the warrior of light will pay more attention to the vertical plane than to the horizontal plane, knowing that that which is real cannot be threatened. That which is real is eternal. It's always here. And in every single moment, life is always giving us what we need. It's not what the mind wants necessarily. It's not what the ego wants
it's not what
necessarily.
It's
not what
it's
the
what
personality
you get, what you
wants.
need, not what you want.
But life is giving you what you need. And the greatest disservice we can do to life is not to appreciate what life is giving us in this moment. There's a gift. Even in the pain, even in the uncertainty, even in those fears that we have, in that moment, there is a gift. And it's to honor what life is giving us in this moment. Because when we do that, we become a true spiritual warrior.
Yeah, that's what makes us strong.
Yeah.
It's the training.
It is.
That's the practice.
Yeah.
It's actually seeing it and go, wow, this isn't an easy situation. How's it serving my growth?
Yeah.
How's it making me stronger? How can I use this situation to actually be stronger in my being, in my sovereignty? How can I use this? Because I chose it. On some level, way back then, you chose it. We all chose this.
We all chose
We
to
all
be here
chose
at this
to be
time.
here right now
to go through
at this time.
Yeah.
So why did I choose it? So how can I show up for it? In the strongest way that I know. What do I need to do to prepare for this? Because there's more coming. So what can I do to prepare? Am I healthy? Am I clear? Is my energy clear? Is my body healthy? Am I looking after myself? Am I loving myself? Because that's what's going to be radiated out.
Yeah.
And that's where the focus, I believe, needs to be. Okay. Not out there on the outside world about what might happen or what is happening, or the chaos. Because that's going to take us away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how can I best serve those around me, even small little ways, tiny little ways? How can I serve every day? How can I bring lightness? How can I bring joy into someone's life? And those are the things that make us the light warriors.
And sometimes it's just about actually making eye contact with someone.
Yeah. The cashier in the supermarket.
Hi,
yeah.
How are you?
Yeah.
That's it. Because so many people now are, they're not looking at each other anymore.
They've got masks on.
And for some reason, there's a disconnect. No talk, no look. Yeah. So you don't look at people.
We think we can get a virus by looking at someone. You can't get a virus by looking at someone.
So to actually just make eye contact with someone and greet them and say, how are you?
Yeah.
That's spreading light.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do meditation. So I'm going to do a little bit of the living in the heart meditation.
Yeah.
But we've done it before, but it's a powerful one. And if it works for you, it's an easy one to do on your own.
Yeah. If you've enjoyed what we've shared so far, if you can then share, press the share button, and that will definitely help spread the light out into the world. And we love getting your comments, and we love getting your hearts, and we love having your companionship with us, your community with us. Yeah. So Michelle's going to do a powerful heart-opening meditation, and to be a spiritual warrior means to have an open heart and a vulnerable heart, knowing that that which is real cannot be threatened. That's to be vulnerable of all the insecurities that we have, all the misperceptions that we have. To be vulnerable to that, that's a spiritual warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So just taking some deep breaths in to start, to settle in. So nestle yourself into your seat, or if you're lying down. And just take a really beautiful, big belly breath in, so blowing your belly out, so expanding your belly on the in-breath and bringing that breath all the way up into your lungs, up to the top of your lungs, and then let it all go on the out-breath. Another deep, deep, beautiful breath in. And then a releasing breath out. And on the out breath, blow the breath out and release your shoulders. Start to soften your body. And start to gently just put your shoulders back a little bit, settle in, and consciously start to relax any tightness in your body. With each in-breath, allowing life to actually flow into you, and with each out-breath, releasing any tension, any pressure. Just allow yourself to be breathed. So noticing the breath coming in and leaving, all on its own, not trying to force it or make it do anything that you normally would. You just allow yourself to be breathed. Allow your body to soften and to relax. As you just notice any tension you hold. Breathe into that area and then let it go. And then bring the focus back to your breath. Beautiful breathing, beautiful life, bringing you into this present moment. And now we're going to see and feel a beautiful place in nature. Somewhere that is beautiful and safe and natural. See if you can get an image or feeling of that place. Where are you? What's around you? Make it as visceral as you can. Imagine what you can smell in this beautiful place from nature. Imagine what you can hear. Perhaps there's some bird sounds or some natural sounds. Maybe the wind is blowing through trees if there's trees, or maybe you can hear the sound of water. What can you hear? Really connect with this beautiful planet that we live on. And allow the feeling of love and gratitude for Mother Earth, who has supported you and loved you your whole life and will continue to do so. Feel that love and gratitude inside you grow and get bigger. Let it expand into your whole body, all the way through your body, into every cell. Expanding and expanding until the love that you feel for Mother Earth is filling you up and radiating out of you. And now take that love, a little bit of that love, put it into a small round sphere, and with your intention, send it down, deep down into the earth, to the very, very center, to the very, very core of Mother Earth. And as you do this, you're letting the Divine Mother know how much you love and appreciate her. You're deepening your connection. And then just remain in a place of stillness and beingness. And see if you can feel Mother Earth sending the love back to you. Just allow it to flow into you wherever it needs to flow. It might flow to a specific part of your body. Just let it be there. Feel the flow of love between you and Mother Earth. Connecting with your breathing, keeping your body soft. Take a lovely breath in and a gentle breath out. And when the time is right, without breaking the flow of love between you and Mother Earth, shift your attention to the sky, to Father Sky. In your inner vision, see or sense a beautiful night sky. Imagine the Milky Way, the depth of space. Imagine the planets, the stars, maybe the moon glowing in the sky. Imagine yourself drifting up there in the infinite beauty of space. You might feel the presence of the sun far beneath the earth. This beautiful, incredible space. Let yourself feel the love that you have for all of this, for the rest of creation, for the infinite universes, for the sun, for the rain, for the air, the wind. Allow yourself to feel gratitude for that. Allow that gratitude to grow and fill you up. Again, let it fill up every cell of your body. And when you feel full, place some of that beautiful, loving light into a sphere and send it up into the heavens with the intention that it goes directly to Divine Father. If you work with grids, you can send it into the grids around the earth, the sun, or the great central sun. And then just wait for a few moments and let that love flow back into your body to wherever it needs to flow into, wherever you might need more space, more light, more nourishment. Feel that in your body. At this moment, that's very similar to the Holy Trinity, the Divine Mother, the Divine Father, and you, the Divine Child, joined in pure love. So just feel that feeling, feel this place of love. From this place of pure love, open to the presence of the Divine, who is all around you and lives within you. Simply being aware of this and feeling the union. And breathe the breath of life. And now, with your intention, leave the mind and imagine moving down through your throat and then sort of hovering above your heart center. Imagine looking down and you can see a sort of a whirlpool of liquid moving around, like a donut with a hole in the middle. Imagine like a leaf on a river, gently circling around this beautiful vortex. It's called a toroidal field. Let your spirit drift on the moving vortex in whatever direction feels good for you, spiraling gently around and around, and then very gently as you move towards the center, you fall down very, very gently into the center of that vortex, into a place of complete stillness. Allow yourself to land very gently, just like a leaf on the water. You've landed in the sacred space of your heart. This space is sacred and ancient. If there's darkness there, you can use the words, "Let there be light." And imagine a light appearing right there in the center of your heart. And this is the place. This is where your purpose for coming to the earth in the first place is. And this is the place from where we radiate our light out into the world. So just enjoy it for a few more moments. And know that it's always here. You can always return to this place. This place of pure love. This sacred, precious, present moment. And now from this place, let's just allow our light, our heart light, to radiate out into your home, out into your community, into your country, across the whole world. Imagine a circle of us all doing that, all radiating our light from our hearts into the world. Standing in unity and standing in love. And just feel the peace. Let it settle in. This is where your power is. And just remember, you are complete. You are whole. And you are very, very loved. And now take a very, very beautiful deep breath in. And a releasing breath out. And another deep breath in. And out. Rub your fingers together. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. And you can come back whenever you're ready and open your eyes gently.
That was beautiful. Isn't that lovely? Wasn't that beautiful? How does your heart feel in this moment? How do you feel in this moment? Do you feel connected? Well, I do.
Hopefully they're still awake.
Who nodded off there? So let's just give us a card for the week ahead. Do you want to choose one?
The card is, I choose to see peace instead of drama.
I choose to see peace instead of drama. How beautiful is that? You know, Gandhi said to be the change you desire to see, to experience in the world. And when you see the peace that's in every single moment instead of the drama, you change the world. So I'll photograph that and I'll put that up onto the Facebook page. And that's your affirmation for the week ahead. So beautiful. Thank you for being with us tonight. Those of you on our courses, we'll see you during the week. And just to let you know, we do have an ongoing online community support program called Inner Space, and everyone's welcome to do that. This month, we're focusing on healing on that group. Yeah, and we have a meetup on Tuesday night for that. So bless you all. Thank you for being with us tonight.
Thanks,
we
everyone.
love you. And thank you for sharing your light with the world tonight. Bless
Thank
you.
Everybody.
Take care. Love you all.
Lots of love.